right, let's do this. I am ready to be on camera.
Hey, it's Chris, and today I'm checking out the latest from robotics company Sphero, Ultimate Lightning McQueen.
Hey, come on, let's go!
If you, or probably more likely your kid, love the movie Cars, then you're really going to like the authenticity that Sphero managed to pack in to this toy. And if you're just a fan of cool technology, there's a lot to like here as well, although I will point out a few things that you should at least be aware of before you click that buy button. So Ultimate Lightning McQueen, or ULM for short, this isn't just a toy. It's actually something that almost feels like it's got a soul. The front windshield of this thing is actually an LCD screen, and that's what's used to display the eyes and the eye movement. On the front of the car, there's actually a working, moving, talking mouth, and you can touch the sides and the top of this thing, and it will respond and react to your touch.
Focus.
Of course, it doesn't hurt that Owen Wilson did the voice acting for this toy, and when all these things combine, it really adds up to give this a really likable personality.
Game on.
In true Sphero fashion, everything is controlled, of course, using an app. So there's no extra remote control. You put your phone close to the car to turn it on and to pair it, and it's pretty much as easy as that. But because there's no separate controller, I'm not going to lie, it can be just a little bit tricky to control at times because you got to look down and make sure that your thumb doesn't go out of the circle. I don't know, it could be a little bit easier to control. The key though, and it took me a while to figure this out because honestly the instructions aren't the best, is that you have to orient the car when it's facing away from you using a button in the app. I'm glad I figured that out because before I thought I was either driving it wrong or this thing had a mind of its own, but it's good to know that if you just take the time to figure out how this works, then it will work as advertised.
Ka-chow!
Driving this car is really fun. When he's driving around, he's got a lot of pep and enthusiasm, and you can see it when he's taking a curve or doing donuts. Unfortunately though, the range is kind of disappointing, to be honest. I found it to be like half of what was advertised, and I thought it was maybe just me or this model or something, but I've looked around and some other reviewers seem to be saying the same thing. So keep that in mind. Range, not quite as good as you might expect.
Look out, folks. Lightning McQueen is back.
So the app isn't just for driving. There's some other stuff that you can do as well. Like there's a mini game, which is actually pretty fun. There's a mode where you can activate some canned responses, which is pretty entertaining. You can have Owen Wilson say all kinds of things.
I'm a precision instrument of speed and aerodynamics.
And there's also a mode where if you watch cars with this car, it'll respond and react, which is kind of cool. One thing that I definitely want to convey is that the attention to detail is pretty awesome in this product. Pixar and Sphero did a really great job paying close attention to what they were producing. Like for instance, if you pick up the car, you're going to hear Owen Wilson say something funny, which I'm not going to ruin for you here. I'll let you discover that yourself. And the same goes for when you leave him idle too long.
Woo! Woo! What a blast!
I'm also really impressed with that front bumper where the mouth is, because if you look at the car as a whole, it looks like it's made out of the same plastic material everywhere, but that front bumper is actually softer and more malleable, and that's what lets the mouth move. That front bumper is also not sticky, but it's definitely something that attracts dirt and different stuff to it, so I've had to wipe it off and wash it off just a few times already. Not a big deal, but just so you know. One thing I noticed right off the bat is that the speaker for this gets really loud, which is cool. I mean, wherever you are, you can hear Owen Wilson talking, and that's a good thing.
Crazy acceleration!
Although sometimes it can be kind of startling when you go to charge him, you plug him in, and you wait, you go for a few minutes somewhere else, and then all of a sudden you hear Owen Wilson telling you that it's time to go to sleep or whatever he's doing to recharge. One detail that I noticed could have been a little bit more detailed, actually, especially for the price, is that front screen that controls the eye movement. When you look up close, the lines on the screen are kind of jaggy. They're not particularly smooth, which is not a big deal when the car's out cruising around because you're not going to notice the resolution then, but when you're just looking at it up close, kind of inspecting it and appreciating the detail, then yeah, I mean, it could be a little better. It's also clever how the car charges by removing the gas cap, and if you think about it, it's kind of like a little Tesla. So there's only one way to turn this on, it's using the app, and when you do, it always checks for updates, and I think that's a good thing because I've already ran into a few early glitches, and I think those are going to get solved probably pretty quickly. Like one of the glitches happens when he's in talking mode, and I go to start the engine noise or something like that, and it cuts out, and then all of a sudden he'll make all the motions and his mouth will move, but he won't talk anymore. And the only way to fix it is to give him a complete recharge. So at the end of the day, would I recommend buying this for $300? Well, here's the thing. Unquestionably, this thing is a lot of fun. And even though it feels kind of limited for the price, I will say that it's continually impressing me by what it can do. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Is the price too high? Are there features missing? Do you love it? Do you want one? Let me know. Let's have a conversation about that. And if you are new to the channel, then make sure to go check out the archive and see what you've been missing. And I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Later.
The crowd loves us!